You know those moments where everything feels fine and then suddenly it's not? Yep, that's what we're going to be talking about today. So welcome. I'm Heidi Lester. I'm a counsellor and psychotherapist, and this is We Are All Fine. If your anxiety had a button, most of us would have worn it out by now, wouldn't we? You know that horrible, horrible feeling, the one thought, the one moment, the one trigger, and suddenly everything ramps up inside you. Your chest will tighten, your thoughts are going manically busy, and it feels like something has taken over before you've even had a chance to catch it and stop it. And that's where we're going today, because anxiety, it doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It's a pattern, a fast, well-practiced response your brain has learned over time. And I have good news always about the encouragement. Anything that's been learnt, you can change. So in this episode, I'm going to show you how to stop automatically pressing the panic button and start responding in a way that actually calms your system down. I've not brought any theory. I'm not going to fluff this up. These are real, practical tools you can use in the moments that matter. So wherever you are right now, just take a breath, get yourself a cup of tea, and let's get into it.
This is We Are All Fine with Heidi Lester, counsellor and psychotherapist with over 25 years of experience. Join us as we unpack emotions, relationships, and mental health strategies to help you show up as your best self.
So let's start with something important about your brain. It's not fixed. For years and years, we thought that it was. We thought that once you reached adulthood, your brain was set. Patterns were locked in, you couldn't change anything. But now we know that's not true. Your brain is constantly changing. It rewires itself based on what you practice, which means this. The anxious patterns that you have right now, they were learned, and anything learned can be unlearned, softened and reshaped. And that's where we're going to go today. The first thing I want you to understand is this. Anxiety here isn't the problem. Your relationship with anxiety, that's where the problem lies. So the first skill is about changing that relationship, looking at it differently. So skill number one, we're going to stop fighting it and start allowing it in. I know that sounds stupid and counterintuitive, but it's not. When anxiety hits, everything in you wants it to go, wants it to leave. You want to distract, avoid, fix, escape anything. But the more you fight it, the more your brain reads it as dangerous. So instead, I think you need to practice this, something I use a lot in my therapy room, willingness. That means noticing the anxiety and saying to yourself internally, all right, this is uncomfortable, but I can handle it. Not anything like, I like it, it's fine. No, just I can sit with this. Because anxiety, hello, is uncomfortable, but it's never, ever harmful. And the moment your brain learns that you can feel it without running away from it, something really powerful will start to shift. Now, the second thing we do, I'll call them skills because this builds on the one we've just talked about. Once you stop fighting anxiety, you need something to anchor yourself in. So this is what you do. Choose something that matters more than your anxiety. Because one of the biggest traps anxiety creates is making your world really small. So you stop doing things, you avoid those situations, and you stay very tightly in your comfort zone. But the way out isn't by waiting to feel less anxious. It's by deciding what matters more than your anxiety. So I want you to ask yourself this. What kind of life do I actually want to be living? Do you want connection, freedom? Do you want to be more confident, grow? Because when you're clear on that, your anxiety becomes something you're willing to feel in order to move forward to something way more meaningful. And that changes everything. Now let's get a little bit practical, because in the moment when your anxiety shoots you down, you need something you can actually do, don't you? So let's look at skill number 3. You need to ground your body to calm your brain. So when your anxiety starts spiking, your body goes into threat mode. So instead of trying to think your way out of it, which is impossible, Let's start from the body. So really gentle, simple things. Just put your feet firmly into the floor, press them down, slow your breathing, short inhale, longer exhale. Look around and see what you can see and start naming those things. Because this tells your nervous system one thing: you're here, you're safe, and you're not in danger. This literally takes the thumb from the panic button. And when your body starts to calm down and your amygdala shuts up, your thoughts will follow. Not instantly, but noticeably. Now, here's something I see an awful lot, especially with clients who struggle with perfectionism. So, skill number 4, we need to let go of needing to handle everything perfectly. A lot of anxiety isn't just about the fear, it's the belief that you shouldn't feel anxious at all. That's what's going on. So if you were stronger, more confident, more in control, you wouldn't feel this way. That is nonsense. But that's not how we work. So instead of telling yourself, I shouldn't feel like this, we need to get rid of those shouldn'ts. Try shifting to, all right, this is really difficult. I'm doing it. I'll get through. It's resilience, because resilience isn't about being calm all the time. It's about continuing even when you're not. And that brings me to the 5th and probably, for me, the most important skill I can share with you. So you need to do small, consistent things that challenge your anxiety regularly. Not these big, overwhelming changes. They won't work. The smaller ones, they will. Your brain, it learns through repetition, not intensity. So instead of trying to fix everything, just do one thing and pick one small step. So if social situations make you feel a little bit, stay 5 minutes longer than you need to, than you have to. Stretch that comfort zone a little bit more, and I promise you, you can do this. And if you're avoiding emails, open one. If you're overthinking, we all do that, pause instead of spiraling. And catch that overthinking thought before it gets out of control. Every time you do something, despite your anxiety, willingness, remember, you're literally rewiring your brain. You are teaching it, this is not dangerous and I can cope. And that's how your confidence will build, not before the action, but after it. So if you take anything from today, my gift to you is this: you don't need to get rid of your anxiety to live your life. You just need to change how you respond to it, because right now your brain might be quick to smack down on that panic button in your brain. But over time, with my practice, your practice, awareness, and these small shifts, you can learn to pause, to notice, and to choose. And that's where the power is. So before we finish, I'll give you a little preview of next week's episode, because it connects so closely to what we've just shared today. We're going to be looking at something that most people completely overlook: micro stress. Not that huge, big, obvious stress that we all think about, but the small, constant, barely noticeable pressures your nervous system is dealing with every moment of your day. Those rushed mornings, the constant notifications pinging up on your phone, yes, the overthinking, the tiny moments of pressure that you won't even register anymore because they're so normal. Now, on their own, they're not going to seem like anything, but together they quietly keep your nervous system running, and they keep you on edge. So next week, I'm going to show you how to work with what I call the 1% shifts. Small, realistic changes that gently bring your nervous system back into balance, because real regulation doesn't come from those big life overhauls. It comes from the small things you do consistently. So if you've ever felt like you're always slightly stressed and don't know why, tune in next week, because it's going to help you. Thank you all for spending your time with me today. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with somebody who, like you, might just need to listen to it today. That's how we keep growing this space and reaching people who, like us all, feel overwhelmed, stuck, or alone in this thing called life. You can also find me on social media for daily practical therapy tools you can use every day. Until then, be yourself. You are no one else. and you are far more capable than your anxiety would have you believe. This podcast is for educational and informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional therapy, personal diagnosis, or medical advice. These opinions are personal, and I do not guarantee their accuracy. Listening to this podcast does not create a counselling relationship, so please always consult a qualified mental health professional with any concerns.